Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. How do I do this? There we go. I've done it. I don't know, my camera's like off-centered. It's fine. I think the cats must have messed with it while I was gone. But hi, hello. Hello, everyone. It is I, Sir Druppeth. Sir Druppeth of Kicketh, for sure. Hi.
Hey, pal, your freaking mic is muted. Fix it.
It is not muted, first of all. Hi, Trees. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Uni. I hope your trip went well. Hi, Trees. I said that. Hello, Pew. The goat is back. I don't know who you're talking about with that. It's definitely not me. I have missed thee. Uni's yelling. Uni's always yelling. Hi, Dave. Hello. I miss it here. Damn, it's been a hot minute. Yeah, so, from the, let's see, I'd say from the July 7th until the 19th, I was gone. July 7th to the 19th, I was gone, and then I was gone all last week because I wanted to do projects and stuff. So that was good stuff. So, but trust me, I am back. Now, first, I hope everyone's been well and had a great July, for sure. Hope everyone had a great July. Couple things. You see new cat beds because they broke the old one that was there. So that's fun. So these are new and improved. It might be a trust me bro. It could be a trust me bro situation. Also, I feel very tiny because I'm like, I'm down here now. Actually, I'll take out my headphones since I have nothing. I have no music playing, which I can totally fix that. Kind of. Not really. I can't really fix that. Ben just made a cute happy noise upon seeing Drop's face. I'm pretty sure that's just because of bright colors. I'm pretty sure Ben just saw bright colors and was like, oh, bright colors. Not necessarily my face. So. Oh my god. Jesus, you absolute. Absolute. You're just absolute. How dare you? Also, did that make a noise? I didn't have my headphones on, so I don't know if that made a noise. Also, how does that start a hype train? Has it been so long? Oh, there it goes. There it made the noise. Thank you for gifting a sub over to Union Trees. You absolutely didn't have to do that. It's freaking legend. So. Perfect. Thank you for the bonks. Then he said, look, Mom, drop. Yeah, exactly. Listen, Jesus, it's not... I like how you also are gifting them 6 months at a time. What the actual hell is this? Why are you doing this? Who are you? Freaking 6 months worth. Oh my god. Just for that, I'm going to stop streaming. You'll get 6 months of nothing. Also, if I sound quiet, it's because I have a friend sleeping next door. Just through that door. So yeah, hold on. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. Give me some... You can drive a dump truck through the house and it wouldn't wake her up. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good to know then. I've been getting up at 4 a.m. My body clock's all sorts of messed up. I've been getting up at like 4 a.m. And so I'm like... And Jasper's been staying up all night. So it's been like... I get up at 4 a.m. and I start doing things. Like I'm just wide awake. So I start doing things. Thanks to Dropkick88 for my sub gift. Oh, nice. Thank you for the bonks. I appreciate it. Yeah, so typically, Pew, so it's 13 hours ahead in Japan and Korea for me. So I was going to bed when most people... I was going to bed when most people were getting up. So that was fun. That was good fun. So yeah, like right now, it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. It would be 12 a.m. Oh my sweet baby Jesus. Dave, why have you done this? Oh my freaking god, thank you, Dave. That's so kind of you. You honestly, you absolutely didn't have to do that. Please, I tell people not to sub to me. Don't sub to me. Spend your money elsewhere. Spend your money on coffee. Listen, don't sub to me, seriously. But I appreciate it greatly. Coffee and avocado toast. Oh, disgusting. Miss you, Senior Kick. I missed you guys too, and that's why I've sort of been like away from Discord this past week. I've been like working on projects because, believe it or not, after 12 days of being gone, my grass was like a foot high. So I was dealing with that. I've been dealing with that. And pouring concrete. I built a brick wall, which I wanted. I left it there without mortar to decide if I wanted to keep it there. I've been building shelves. I've been cleaning. I've been putting things up. I've been at the hardware store like 3 days this week, maybe 4 days this week, buying things and just looking around at things, which has been fun. No, why would she? Why would she cut it? My brother-in-law even offered to come over and mow my grass, and I said no. So, it's okay. Drop life stuff is important, but we do miss our captain. Yep, understandable. Maybe. I didn't ask her to, so... No, she did me a huge solid just by looking after my cats for the 12 days I was gone. It was more like 13, 14 days. So, speaking of Japan and Korea, so I tried to upload, so I did a dump from my phone to my computer, and I'm like, cool, got it. Done. Dunzo. I'm missing like half the photos and videos from my trip. So I don't know what, like, the folder is doing. Seriously, guys. Oh, sorry. I just got distracted by a notification. Thank you guys so much for the level 7 Hive train. That's very kind of you. I need to adjust the threshold. Where it's 1,000,000 subs to activate. Because I do this for funsies. But I greatly appreciate you guys. Seriously, thank you so much. So yeah, so I have them in my phone. I have all the stuff in my phone, right? I just don't have them on my computer. All right. Okay. Dave has requested a Banjo-Kazooie, and who am I? Who am I to deny it? So, I'll be right back. Thank you so much for that. For the Banjo-Kazooie. That's fantastic. So mostly what I have right now is my South Korea trip. I do have my South Korea trip set up. But oh my goodness, did we do so much during that trip. Seriously. Thank you, Uni, for the biddies. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. But thank you for the bits. Thank you for the tip. Also, I feel like I'm tanner. I look tanner than I did before. Thank you guys so much for the level 7 hype train. Oh, hey, you did the thing. Hi, Maddie. Hello. I done did the thing. I don't know what I did. Oh, just the tip. Yeah. So basically, you look bolder than before. It's because, well, I have some hair. Look at this. Look at this. Straight up. You look tanner. I thought you were drop. I am tanner. I'm tanner drop. I'm drop Hughes tanner. So I'm trying to think, like, where do I even begin with the trip? Oh, it's a sleepy cat thing. It's a honk shoe, whatever honk shoe is. Sleepy. Okay, so on the 7th, so our trip started the 8th. Our flight was on the 8th. So on the 7th, I stayed at the Hyatt hotel at the Orlando airport. So there's a hotel that's right in there. And that made it easier because we had to be up at 2:30 in the morning to meet up with everybody else. From there, it was... this song's a little too aggressive. There we go. So our flight wasn't until 6. So from 6 a.m. Till we left Orlando around 6, and we went to Dallas, and then we stayed. Beginning is a very good place to start. Yeah, yeah, that's right. So I figured I'd just kind of talk through everything that's happened since I don't exactly have all the pictures in order. And also too, when you dump photos and videos from your phone to your computer, it mixes them up so they're not in order. Also, I'm holding a pen. I don't know why. It like mixes them up, and there's no way that I found to sort them to where it'll put them in order. So likely what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna post them in the Discord and call it a day. I'm gonna go through and post all the photos that I took from there. Because I tried to do like a vlog thing, right? Like I was filming every night during the trip, but then about a third of the way through, we just started packing on more and more things. We were gone like earlier and earlier in the day, and we were getting back later and later. So it got to a point towards the end of the trip where I'd walk in the hotel room and just face plant and sleep because we were just gone. We were just go. Now, the trip itself, there's 24 of us. It was, let's see, there was 1, 2, yeah. It was 11 adults. So there was 11 adults there, which was fun. But it was for my niece's culinary group and also for a world history AP course so high school students. So like between 16 and 18 years old were these kids that went. So we did that. So there was 11 adults, and then there was 3 girls, and then the rest were boys. So that's who we had on the trip. Just to give you any kind of inkling. Now, we left Orlando around 6 a.m., went to Dallas, stayed in Dallas for about 3 hours, and then it was a 13-hour flight to Japan. So 13 hours from Dallas to the Haneda airport in Tokyo. So like crazy long trip. I watched both of the Five Nights at Freddy's movies and then slept the rest of it. So that's what I did with my time. We landed around 3 p.m. on the 9th. So we left at like 6 a.m. on the 8th, and we got to Japan at like 2:30 or 3 o'clock on the 9th because of the time difference. So already there, just absolutely insane. Then from there we spent about 2 hours getting through customs, and so that was an eye-opening experience. So about 2 hours to get through customs, and then we met up with our tour guide Isaku. So we met up with our tour guide, and because of like at that point it was like 5 p.m. and it was a 45-minute drive to the hotel. So we took a 45-minute bus ride to the hotel, and it was incredible. Like just being there, it was such a surreal experience driving through, because they drive on the left side of the road as opposed to America being on the right, and the steering wheel's on the right side of the car. So like the driver sits on the right side of the car. So already in that sense, it was like very, very different. So we went through and just, seeing the architecture and seeing, the infrastructure and seeing the less cars on the road, even though it's like rush hour traffic, there is less cars on the road in general. And, it became apparent why once we got closer to Tokyo, like once we got into Tokyo, because Tokyo, to put it in perspective, like I live in Orlando, but Orlando is such like a broad encapsulating thing. Like I live in a town, it's different than Orlando, but I live in the Orlando area. So it's like there's the greater Tokyo area, and then there's Tokyo, like like central Tokyo or Tokyo, Maine, or whatever you want to call it. And so it's all divided up. But so we got to the hotel. We were supposed to go do stuff. How many days did it take you to adapt to the time difference? It was like the first day or two. I think it was like 1 or 2 days for me. The thing is like the trip wasn't so long. It was 8 days in Japan and 4 days in Korea. So, but that was including like travel as well. So I don't feel like it was long enough to really hit me time difference wise, especially since like Isaku, our tour guide, who's in his late 50s, like early 60s, he packed so much into our days, more so than what was on the sheet. So on the sheet it would say like we'd go visit a shrine and then go visit this place. Well, we'd go to the shrine, go to another place, and then go like 4 other places, So now the first day we were supposed to go to Meiji Shrine and to Harajuku and to Shibuya. Now I think it's hitting you now, given you are waking up at 4 a.m. Yeah, it's definitely hitting me now. But the thing is like 2 nights ago, I went to bed at like 2:30 a.m. because I didn't get back from the wrestling thing until like 2:30 in the morning. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up at 9. But then again, at the same time, like I had woken up at 9. And then last night, I went to bed at 9 because I was exhausted. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock when I got home from my sister's house, and I was just dead on my feet. Like I could barely keep my eyes open, like that kind of tired, like insane levels of exhaustion, and I don't even know why. And it could be because, I've been spending like 8 hours a day outside, doing things outside, or going places and doing like running errands and stuff like that. So that's been part of it too. But going back to it, so the Tokyo or the Japan part of the trip, we didn't realize at first, but we were sharing it with another group. I didn't realize we were sharing it with another group. It was a group of middle schoolers. It was a group of middle schoolers from New Jersey. And so, our travel day, we basically went to the hotel, and that's it. Like the hotel, we did our thing at the hotel, got our rooms and stuff, and because of me, because of my my choice, I decided I wanted to stay alone. I didn't want to bunk up with anyone, so I paid a little extra to have my own room, which I'll show you once I get the photos sorted. Let me see if I can just find it. Also, we're listening to the Hollow Knight soundtrack. This is what you hear. So let's see if I can actually show this. Nope, it's not wanting to show. That's not working at all. Anyway, it's fine. I'll post the video of it. So like just like a small, quaint little room. You know, it bed, TV. It's very small. The bathroom, on the other hand, the bathroom was the key. The tub was like a 2-foot deep tub. Like you had to really step into it to get into it. And then the water pressure was more water. It was the shower head was more powerful than anything I've ever experienced in my life. And it was so amazing. And the water, I mean, you have to be careful because the water is extremely hot. So they have like a governor on the faucets. So that way it prevents you from turning it all the way up. But if you press down and then you can bypass it to go hotter. And holy crap, did it get hot. It got insanely hot. To the point where there's signs everywhere that says like, there's signs that say like, keep the bathroom door closed when you're showering to not set off the smoke alarm. So they don't want you to set off the smoke alarm, so they have like warnings to keep the bathroom door shut. So that was fun. So that first night we just, we went to the hotel, and then a bunch of us went to like, I know there's like memes about convenience stores in Japan, like the number of convenience stores and vending machines. They are not kidding. There is not an over exaggeration. There is literally it's like 20 feet in Tokyo, there's a freaking convenience store. And then every 10 feet or so, there's vending machines. Like, it's literally everywhere. So I went to 7-Eleven, and it was as good as imagined. Like, I got ramen, I got onigiri, I got spam musubi, I got so many things. I got crazy, like, they had insane chip flavors there, just like they say. You can get, like, trying to think. You can get like close to Canadian all-dressed chips here, or like in Canada, where it's like barbecue, sour cream and onion, and salt and vinegar or something, like all mixed together. But then they also have like crawfish flavored chips, or shrimp flavored chips, or miso chips, stuff like that. So it was very good. Obviously I didn't eat the shrimp ones. So we did that, and then it was pretty much Konbini culture is a whole different world. My friend could get up at 3 a.m. and grab a snack. That's literally what I did some days. Pew, is I went to the 7-Eleven and got a snack in the middle of the night because I was hungry. So that was the first day, and then so that was like the arrival day, and then the next day we met up with the middle schooler group, and they were rough. Like, I think middle school is not the right age to take kids to Japan, just because they're full of energy and they're wild. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, there was a lot of kids that were very well behaved, but there was like a group of boys that were pretty much a nightmare the whole time. Now the first day, so we went to what's called Meiji Shrine, and Meiji Shrine, if you look on a map of Tokyo, you'll see in the very center area, there's like a massive spot of green. That's because Emperor Meiji, in the early 1900s, said, they wanted a place, like it was getting too industrialized in Tokyo, so they carved out an area, and people voluntarily like planted trees. So over 20,000 trees were planted by like individual families in this area, and there was like an old shrine there that they maintained for a very long time beforehand, so that was part of it. Like the shrine was there, and it's got like the big wooden gates. It's got like the the very old trees that are there. There's one tree that's in the grounds, like the shrine grounds, that's very old. That was like part of the original design setup. But yeah, you go in, you make wishes, you can buy charms, which I bought several charms, like this one for example. It means it's for good luck. And I'll post better pictures of this once we get to that point. Like once I'm sort of able to access my photos and post them in the Discord, I'll do that. I'll probably have to post them from my phone, so that's gonna take forever. But then I'm also gonna work on small videos, so I'll share those when I have them. I just I underestimated how like unreliable it would be to just dump them onto my computer and just showcase them. Now, trying to think what else. Yeah, so we did that. We had done that part. Nope, this is none of the stuff that I want. This is all traveling to Korea. And like, there's no thumbnails for the videos either. I'm not sure why. That's very annoying. So we had done that. We had done Meiji Shrine, and then from there we went to, if you ever heard of Harajuku. Harajuku is what's known as like cutesy town or kawaii town. The way Drop described his videos as were scuffed vlogs. Yeah, for sure, it was like a scuffed vlog. So yeah, we left the Meiji Shrine, and then we went to Harajuku, which is cutesy town. It's got all like the charm shops and the things like that. So, and all the gacha games are there, and it's like this small alleyway, like going downhill. Small alleyway going downhill, and it's just all these things going on. And they're like, all right, you have 45 minutes, like go explore. So we did that for a bit. I bought Pokemon cards, and I think that was it from there. That's about it. But it was just like so many of those gacha. And if you don't know what a gacha place is, it's literally a shop that has like it usually costs like 1,000 yen, which is, I don't know how much, like 50 cents USD. But you put the coin in, and then you twist, and then a ball pops out, and you get whatever, it's a gacha thing. It's a mystery boxes. So we did that, and we were supposed to get lunch there too, but couldn't really get lunch, so there was that. So we did that for about 45 minutes. Then from there we went to Shibuya, and Shibuya is the one that has like the famous crosswalk, and it's like 3,000 people per hour walk across that crosswalk. Like, it's insane. Like, the amount of people there was insane. Oh, hang on, my cat's trying to get in. Never mind, my cats were just in the hallway. My cats were in the hallway just staring at me when I opened the door. And they did not make a move, so I closed the door. Yeah, we went to Shibuya, and so Shibuya Crossing is insanity. So we had gone there. I took photos of the dog. There's a dog. There's a statue of a dog in Shibuya, and it's this dog that used to follow its owner to the train station every day. And then the dog would, either stay and wait for his owner to come back, or he would go home and then come back later, like when he knew what time his owner should be back. Well, one day his owner died. Yes. So one day the owner died. I'm gonna murder my cats. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted. Well, they keep their body slamming the door. They're gonna wake up Jasper, and I don't want that. That's not what I want at all. Yeah, so we went to Shibuya, and there's the dog statue. Yeah. So the dog basically stayed there. I thought. Chico, yeah. I think that sounds right. Wait, how did the cats react when you got back, by the way? Super lovey-dovey again? They were, like, shocked. There was a bit of shock involved. But no, they were super lovey. I don't have to show the video of that. They were like... And, after about 24 hours of me being back, they were, like, back to being glued to me. Like, they were extra needy as far as being glued on me. They're currently running around. It's playtime, I guess. But yeah, so the dog waited for its owner, but his owner died and never came back. So the dog basically stayed there for the rest of its life until, people fed him and stuff until he eventually passed away. Very sad story, but like there's a statue there that commemorates the dog. And what was really funny is that so the leader of the trip, her husband and son came, and when we were at the dog statue, they stood in the background, like behind the statue, and just made like those kinds of faces. And they probably are in the background of like 100 people's photos, because we were there for a good 15 minutes and like hundreds of people were there taking photos. Like, it's insane. So from there, our guide knew what we wanted to do. So he basically said, all right, you have an hour and a half here, do whatever you want. Those that want to go to the Pokemon Center, follow me. And he took us around. It was probably like a half mile away, but we went to the Pokemon Center. And let me tell you, that place was so freaking busy. It was insane. And I loved every second of it. I got what did I get? I got an Oshawott charm, like a small bag charm to go on my bag, because that's one thing about Japan that most people will tell you, is that the more charms you have in your bag, the cooler you are. So, and because I took my backpack with me everywhere, I had to get some charms. So I got an Umbreon, an Oshawott, and a Rowlet to go on my bag. And then I have a Zenitsu from Demon Slayer on there as well. Honeybee was so mad at me when I came back from Connecticut. My cats weren't really, I don't think they ever were mad at me. They sort of just were like, holy crap, you're alive. You know, you've became one of the cool kids without me. Yeah, I sure did, Jimmy. Now, on that same floor, they have the Jump store, like the Shonen Jump store, and then they also have a One Piece store. Now, the One Piece store was closed, so we weren't able to go in there. You needed like a ticket to get in, and there was like these big American bouncers in front of the door wearing suits, and like it would have been like an hour before they let people in anyway, so I couldn't go in there. But I was able to like go through, like I could take photos from their store. So, but you get off the elevator, and there's like to the left of the elevator, there's a Monster Hunter store, which is very cool. Then across from that, it's like a kaiju store. So there's like a giant Godzilla and like a bunch of kaiju stuff. And then further through in the center of it all, there's a Nintendo store that just, you can walk through it. So it's like all the Nintendo kitschy stuff. And then at the far back, there was the Nintendo, or the Pokemon Center. And it was so freaking cool. I took a selfie with Mewtwo. It was great. She's used to me being gone for work appointments. I took her with me when I was gone for any length of time. See, that makes sense. My cats don't really leave, and I have left multiple times. So not a big deal, you know? They're used to me being gone. Just maybe, I just don't think they really understand, like, timing wise. So we did that, and then afterwards, you know, kind of explored around. And we ended up, oh god, what was it called? I'm trying to remember. It was a Korean fried chicken place. It was Mother something. Was the name of it. And it was freaking fantastic chicken. We had that for our like little dinner thing, because we had to like go there and then go back to the bus stop. I knew Japan was catered to the tourist aspect, but hearing you describe it makes it seem more heavy than I thought. To put it in perspective, Jesus, most people spoke English. And I found out from Isaku, our tour guide, is that English is one of the is like a, it's not a, I'm trying to think what it's called. But it's a course that most Japanese children take, is English. So the most Japanese that I really needed to use was like Fukuro onegashimasu, which is bag please, when you're at the supermarket or when you're at any of the convenience stores, because they don't give bags unless you ask for them, or they'll ask you if you want a bag. There was arigato gozaimasu, which is thank you very much. It's like a formal way of saying thank you, and pretty much everyone says it that way. They don't say arigato. Then there was my cat's laying on all my cables behind my thing. Yeah, see, it's crazy to me. Most people speak English in the world. It's people from America that don't really speak other languages. That's wild. Then there is Ohayo gozaimasu, which is good morning. Stop. The cats are messing with my stuff. I'm gonna tear down my whole operation again. Yeah. The number one thing that I used was sumimasen, which is please excuse me, because you're walking through all these super crowded areas and you're just like sumimasen, 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 sumimasen. What's up, Charlie? Hi, what do you mean stop? Hi, Charlie. Yeah, that's a good one to know, too. Stop. She knows what she did. But yeah, Shibuya was hella fun. Was very, very fun. But also too, it was with the humidity and everything, it was over 100 degrees every day. Like it would be like, it would say the temperature would say 80, but then the amount of humidity just pushed it over to 100, like over 100. And we were outside most of the time. So just crazy amounts of time outside. And I quickly learned why, like, so many people in Japan and Korea use umbrellas just through their day to day, and it makes perfect sense why people do that because it's so freaking hot and the sun's just with you the whole day. And it gets light like 4:35 a.m. So the days are very long, especially in the summer. Trying to think, what else did we do? I'm pretty sure. Oh, and then we went to freaking. What did we do after that? We did. Hold on. I have. Hang on, let me pull up the tour the tour itinerary because, like, seriously, they packed so much. They packed so freaking much in those days. Meiji Shinto Shrine, walking tour of Shibuya. Yeah, we did that. Shirimachi. We went to the Shirimachi Museum, which is like basically Shirimachi means like traditional downtown. And so we went to this museum where it just showed like traditional architecture, traditional like housing and stuff like that. It was very cool. And then we went to Akihabara, which Akihabara was so unbelievable. No, we didn't do that. We went from there. We went to Asakusa. We went to the Asakusa Temple, and that's where we had right off of like Asakusa Boulevard, we found a ramen place. And so me, my sister, my niece, one of her friends, and her friend's mom, and this one kid that we just sort of adopted as our kid during the trip, this kid named Grayson, we went and had ramen, and it was, I can't tell you guys, like, I love ramen so much, it's ruined for me. Like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to like, I bought ramen the other day and I didn't even eat it. Like, I ordered it to go, and then it just sat in my fridge. I wasn't really feeling it at the time, but I wanted it because I was like, I'll want it later. I didn't want it later. Just because, like, the ramen that I had there was so unbelievably good. Like, it was eye-opening how good it was. And it was from, like, a little hole-in-the-wall place, like, right on the boulevard, that you could have walked right past. So we did that. Asakusa is very cool. Like, the temple area, the massive red gate, the giant paper lantern, like, the statues, like, the deities that they have just statues of that represent like the different elements. Very cool. From there we went to a traditional Japanese tea ceremony, which was very cool. She made matcha for us, like homemade matcha, and it was so good. And like now I want to drink matcha, but I want to do it the way that she made it, because now it's like when I tried looking up places to order matcha from, it's like matcha latte or matcha mixed with this, matcha mixed with that. It's not just like straight matcha tea. So it's very good. I would say it's a bit bitter, but I had learned so much. Is this... I don't know ass doing? Where is it? There's sucha, which is what we had. Sucha means thin tea. So it's all they do is vanilla matcha lattes with too much sugar. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I always hated matcha, but then when I had it for real, it was so good. And then they do kocha, which is thick tea. And I guess it's based on how you got it. My anemic ass likes matcha to taste like grass with a side of wet dirt. There you go. So we had done that. So that was really fun. And bless you. And then from there we went to Akihabara. Did you use any vending machines? Oh, all the time. Team Bakari Sweat. Bakari Sweat. So it sounds weird. Like the name of it. So there's two. It's a rivalry. There's always like are you Team Bakari Sweat? Are you Team Aquarius? So Aquarius and Bakari Sweat, if you look at them up, they're electrolyte water, basically. Think of it like almost like an unflavored Gatorade or Powerade or something like that. Yeah, Bakari Sweat. Especially since we're walking. So my sister did the math, and like every day, well, she had like a thing that tracked steps. We did about 30,000 steps a day. Just to put it in perspective of how much walking we did an insane amount of walking, and we're like pouring sweat the whole time. So the amount of Bakari Sweat that was consumed by our group was just astronomical. That and water. But it's one of those things where it's like you drink a Bakari Sweat and you feel better. Like you immediately feel better because of the electrolytes in it. It would almost be like drinking an unflavored Pedialyte, I guess. But it had like a little bit of flavor to it. I don't know, it's weird. But Aquarius to me just tasted like watered down Bakari Sweat. That's how that worked out for me. Holy crap, my throat's starting to hurt from the amount of talking I've been doing. So from there we went to Akihabara, which Akihabara is like anime town. Hydrate. Now, it's based. So it's from Disney. It's Ice Planet Hoth, and it's set up to be like a ride poster from Disney. So I only have 3 of the 4 of these. Ice Planet Hoth. It says Thrill to the Epic Battle. I never get the 4th one, but I have this one. I have Endor, and I have the Sea Slug, or the Space Slug, rather. Now, Akihabara would have been fine. So there's it's anime town, but it was also cosplaying town, because there's cosplayers that just stand on the side of the sidewalk, and they hand out QR codes, they hand out this, that, and the other, and you take photos with them and things like that. And they also promote businesses that are nearby. So there's all these cosplayers, just as far as the eye could see, cosplayers wearing various things. So we did that. The problem with Akihabara is that there were so many cool shops. I went into the 6-story anime store, and I bought it's called Paper Theater. I bought some Demon Slayer things from that. But it's each floor had different niche of anime on it. So the floor that I went to, the one that it was floor 6, and it had Demon Slayer and Naruto and the more action-y kind of shows. But then they had a floor that was the host club, kind of the romance type animes. So there was that floor, and just so on and so forth. So I did that. I spent a lot of time in there, most of the time in there, but because the amount of people there was there, it was you took a step, you bumped into someone. You took another step, you bumped into someone else. It was just that's how many people were there. It was very stressful, and it was hot. And this was in the evening time, so all the heat was leaving the sidewalk and hitting us directly. So we had done that. And then from there, we went back to the hotel for, I believe it was dinner at that point. Now, the next day, on the 12th, Sunday the 12th, we had checked out of our hotel, and we actually sent our bags ahead. So we essentially had to leave. Oh, hi, Graham. Thank you for the box. Welcome in. Hope you've been doing well. It's been a while. So our roller bags we left in the lobby, and those traveled to Hiroshima, or rather Hiroshima is what it is. From what I understand from the locals, they call it Hiroshima. It's not Hiroshima. So on that day, we traveled to a place called Yokohama, which is another pretty famous place, but it was on the water. We went to a park on the water. It was very pretty. It was the Yamashita Park. We basically did like a walk around the Yamashita Park. And then from there is a parked ship there, or it's an anchored ship called the Hikawa Maru, which is like a luxury liner, but it's not like a massive, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like Titanic size. It's a pretty small one. I think it holds about 300 guests. But we got to explore like the different, it was like a self-guided tour. So you like explore the different parts of the ship. You learn about the history of the ship. Like, it was a luxury liner in the early 1900s, and then it turned into like a hospital ship during the wars, and so on and so forth. So that was fun. And then from there, we went to Cosmo. I think it was the name of it. It was like Cosmo Park, which is like a small amusement park that's nearby. And it had like, there was a roller coaster and a log flume and a Ferris wheel, and there was an arcade, and then there was like a rows upon rows of freaking claw machines, and there was like photo booths and stuff. It was fun. We did that. I got some really, like, some of the people, I didn't want to go on the roller coaster or the Ferris wheel because I hadn't eaten really that day, and I was afraid I was going to get sick. So thank you for the 4 months there, Dragon. I appreciate you. So we had done that, and then we were there for probably about an hour and a half, maybe a little more. God, did we do... What did we do? Was it that day? I feel like it was that day. We went to the Brick Warehouse. So there's a place, it's not called the Brick Warehouse, but that's essentially what it is. It's like a long brick warehouse that used to be like a warehouse, and they turned it into like a shopping center. So there was like shops and food places, and it was really good. I got to have my for the first time I had amu rice, which is basically like soft scrambled egg on top of rice, and then with that I had like, it was like katsu chicken. Your cats must have missed you. You have both. No, they're locked in here currently, so I think they just settled down finally. It was very tasty. And it's just a bunch of shops. So I did that. And then outside there was like a volleyball tournament going on. It was very weird, but it was cool. Like, it was fun. And then from there, we went to the Yokohama train station, where our egg and rice go very well together. Yeah, see, the thing is like, Japan and Korea, they eat rice for breakfast. And rice for breakfast is like a genius idea. It's so freaking good. I love having rice for breakfast. Rice for breakfast is insanely good. Yeah, we then went over to the train station, where our tour director bought box lunches. I could not have one because it had shellfish in it. So anytime there was something that had shellfish in it, they just gave me money to go buy my own. So that was fun. So yeah, so they would send me. They would be like, "Here's money, go buy something." And so I went over and I found like a better box lunch. Yeah, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I found like a steak box lunch, or in this case, it was fried. It was like a fried chicken box lunch, and it was insanely good. So I had that, and because what we did from there is we rode the train. We rode bullet train from Tokyo to Hiroshima, and so that was about a 3-hour trip. And let me tell you, when they say bullet train's fast, that shit is insanely fast. It's scary how fast it is at some points, but it is very cool. You know, I haven't looked this up. About 350 kilometers per hour. So the Japanese one, it was about 200 miles an hour. I know somewhere in yeah, so 320 kilometers per hour and 200 miles an hour is how fast we went. And what's crazy is, so there's not this part, but we went through another part, and there was like 45. It's Hiroshima, not Hiroshima. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, not the maglev train. It's not a maglev train, I don't believe. Oh, it says wheel on rail, high-speed train. Wheel on rail is the type of train. Yeah, so it took us about 3 hours to get to Hiroshima, and then we checked into our hotel, which was like an Econo Lodge. It was not very cool. It was not very nice. Like, I mean, yeah, the room was okay. The problem is that, so they allowed smoking in the building. So on the second and fourth floors and the roof, they allowed smoking. They had smoking rooms. Most of our group was on the first floor and the third floor. So all it did was just push all the smoke smell up. So it's just a constant like bombardment of smoke, of like cigarette smell. And so it was with you when you slept. It was with you when you're in the hallways, when you're outside. Like, you could just smell it walking up to the building. Also, too, the dining room was being renovated, so we couldn't even go in there. So it was basically like, go get food from the nearby 7-Eleven, come back, eat it in a smoke-filled hotel. So we did that. Now the next day was the very eye-opening kind of day. We did the Atomic Dome, which, if you don't know what the Atomic Dome is, so there, in the center of Hiroshima, there is a building. Yeah, basically. So, yeah, we went to the Atomic Dome Park, and basically it was a community center that had a big dome, like big glass dome on top of it. It was of like one of the towers on it. So it was like a normal building, and then it had like a small tower that had the dome on it. And it had a lot of windows in the building. It was the only building to survive the atomic blast. Like, in a sense, right? It was the only structure that was standing. I mean, obviously it was like really destroyed, but it wasn't completely obliterated. Like, if you look at photos, if you look up the Atomic Dome, you'll see the building, and it's like a skeleton of the building is standing. Everything else around it is completely collapsed. And we actually got to meet with the son of an atomic bomb survivor. So it was the son of the A-bomb survivor that did the tour for us. And he was very kind, and walked through the whole story. He told us stories from his mom's perspective, and it's crazy because like he's older, and his mom is still alive. His mom was a little kid during during World War II, and so she's 96 years old now, and he said she's just as spry as ever at 96, which is wild to me. We visited there. We visited, we went to the Peace Memorial Building. Like, we went into the victims wing, and it was very soul crushing to experience. It was a very sad moment. And then, from there, we got to see some very beautiful things as well. Like, from that point, like the children's shrine that they had built, and they decorated every year with thousands of little origami cranes in honor of Sadako, the girl that who had leukemia, that basically made cranes every day, and she made tens of thousands of them. And then they use all this paper, and they recycle all the paper, and they use it to make like notebooks, and they use it to make all sorts of things because of the amount of cranes that are made and brought there. They end up recycling a lot of them. Then from there, we went to the I don't remember the name. It was a maritime museum, so it was like a ship museum. It's like warships during like World War II and stuff like that. So we went there afterwards, and that was really fun to go through. A bunch of us, like, I was supervising some of the teenagers, and a bunch of us did like there's like 7 stations you go around, and you get little stamps on all the things, and so that was cool. And we got to learn about the ships and the inner workings of them. It was really fun. But after that, we went to the Mazda museum / factory, and that was really freaking cool. Like, the Mazda place, like the Mazda factory, is super cool. They have a tour guide, and she spoke fluent English. It took lots of photos and videos there. The only thing, and then we got to go onto the actual factory floor and watch a car get made. It wasn't like start to finish car get made, but we watched some factory workers building cars. It was very cool to watch. We weren't allowed to film in there though, and it really made me want to get a Mazda at the time. Just looking at all the cars, and there's they have, from like the time that Mazda was founded, they have like every single car type that's there in like a showroom. It was very cool. And then I think after that, what did we do after that? We went... Oh, that was the one. So we went to this, like, chef's alley thing. So it was like the 4th floor of a building. And it's just all these, like, food stalls down. And they sat us down, and they made this, like... It was, like, egg and noodles and like, prosciutto, and it was, like, grilled. It was like grilled noodles and egg. It was very tasty. But it was so hot. You're like sitting there trying to eat, and you're just like pouring buckets of sweat. It was wild. And what's cool is, so we were at the we had a hotel, and the Atomic Dome was like 45 minutes away. And then we went, at the end of the day, we went to this food place. But then right across the street from the food place was a train station, and we rode the train back to the hotel. Sorry. Well, thank you, Campbell, for the 60 stream streak. That's very kind of you. I'm not sure why it took an hour to register, but hey, thanks for sticking it out for an hour. You can now go do anything else you want.
This lawnmower is a frickin'
Data pad. Sure is. Yeah, so we rode the train back, and it was like a 10-minute train ride, and then just like our hotel was right across the street from the train station, so it was very convenient in that sense. But it was so wild though because the train station pretty much only went to that stop and then like a couple smaller stops, and that was it. That's like the length of that train station. Now the next day. So the next day we went to Miwajima Island, which is a shrine island. It's where the Itsukushima shrine is, and it's like a shrine on the water. It's got the big red gates. There's like the massive red gates that are there. I'm starting my work week, so it's a good background distraction while I smash my face into my keyboard trying to register what my team did while I was off for the weekend. That makes perfect sense. Happy to be a good distraction. Or background noise, whatever have you. So we did that. Now somewhere. Oh, it was on my birthday. Yeah, on my birthday. Yeah, so we went to. It's called Aeon Mall, and Aeon Mall is kind of like a generic name for it, but it's like there's several Aeon Malls throughout Japan. We went there, and then I had this like really tasty steak for lunch for my birthday. It was very good. But yeah, so the following day we went to Miwajima Island, which is you take a ferry to get over to, which is very fun. Again, insanely hot, but that's okay. But on the island, there's like deer walking around, just like amongst people, just looking for food. And I mean, I took photos and videos of the deer, but we weren't allowed to touch them. They told us not to touch the deer because they were like flea ridden, and that was enough for me to just stay clear. But there was like other tourists that were like shoving, they're shoving their whole bodies onto these deer to pet them. It was wild. So it was very fun, and it's like there's the shrine, and like the temple, the red gate, and there's like people that are there, like say. Sorry, my throat is actually really starting to hurt. I guess I underestimated how much I'd be talking. So we did that, and I mean it was really cool. There were a lot of little shops and stuff, and they had like a Studio Ghibli shop and like a hairpin shop, and then like all these food shops and stuff that you can go to. It was very fun. I ended up getting. Because of how hot it was, we ended up getting these like lemon. Were these the bowing deer? No, these were not the bowing deer. These are just normal deer. The bowing deer are at Naru Park, which we didn't go to Naru Park. So we had gotten these like lemonade slushy things that were absolutely godsend while we were there, because holy crap was it hot. And then went to this small like hole in the wall place, and I got like a hot dog or like a corn dog. It was very tasty. And then after that we went and had, yeah, the music's very aggressive. Hold on. Oh, that's the Radiance fight. You guys remember the Radiance fight from Hollow Knight, the one that kept killing me over and over again? It's terrible. So this is the title song, Hollow Knight. I'm trying to remember what we had for dinner that night. See, it's all captured in my photos. I just don't have them. Oh, that was the night we went to the train station. The train station we had gone to the night before. We went to the train station. We had dinner in the train station. It was very tasty. Again, it was a situation where it was like it was a set menu, so it was like pork cutlet, like katsu, like breaded and fried, but then it was also like shrimp, like fried shrimp. So I couldn't have any of it. So again, I found myself doing another box dinner. I found this like box dinner steak place, and so I got a couple things, and I went over there, and it was insanely good. Again, another good thing. Then the following day, on Wednesday, July 15th, we left our hotel and we went to Osaka. We took another bullet train. It was about a 2-hour bullet train. Truth, Beauty, and Hatred. Hollow Knight Hidden Dreams song. Interesting. So, again, another fun one. We went to Osaka Castle, which is massive freaking castle in the center of Osaka. It's just right there in the center. So that was very fun. It was very crowded, though, so a lot of us ended up leaving ahead of time. I found myself, as the trip went on, I would cut my visits shorter so I can go to the meeting point and just relax. You know, go find a drink. Relax. Again, we went to another Aeon Mall at this point. So we went to another Aeon Mall and had lunch and things like that. So that was fun. And then we went to... we did Japanese karaoke. We went to a karaoke place, and we there was 2 groups. It was like all the adults, and then like me and my sister and all like the teenagers, because somebody needed to be there to make sure they didn't destroy anything. So that was fun. It was like a really fun like karaoke night. Yeah, and then from there we went back to we went to a new hotel. It was the hotel right in the center of Osaka, which was very cool. I mean, it wasn't like the super nicest hotel. Yeah, it wasn't like the nicest of hotels, but it was better than the previous one. So we did that. And plus, it was one of those things where it was like, we're leaving early in the morning, so we're leaving at like 5 a.m. So, and we got there at like 10 p.m. So there wasn't really time to soak in how good the hotel was or not. It was like I walked in, face planted, done. Because the following day on Thursday we went to the airport. We went to the Osaka airport and we flew from Osaka to Seoul, South Korea. And he took us to, like, we were able to eat lunch in the terminal, which was very good. I got to have my, it was like, kimchi and chicken soup. It was very good. Like, so he took us to, and then from there, I have some amazing shots from the North Seoul Tower. So they took us to this, like, observatory, the North Seoul Tower, which you have to take like a what's it called, a gondola up to the base of it, and then you have to climb the stairs, and then you have to take an elevator up to like the 42nd floor to actually get to the observation deck. It's very cool. Like, it's very surreal experience because you're looking out over all of Seoul. It's just the view is breathtaking. And there was a traditional, like, they had a traditional Korean band play some music. And then they showed off some like traditional Korean military fighting from like medieval times. It was very cool. Which from there you can see like people bring locks. Oops. People bring like padlocks, and they just put padlocks on like all these areas that are designated for it now. But it's like tens of thousands of these padlocks just everywhere with little writings on them, all up and down the observatory area. And then the next day we took a walking tour of Seoul, which was very fun. It was very hot though. Again, super hot. That's like the general consensus of the trip. Very hot. We went to I can't even pronounce it. Chungi is like Chungi Plaza and Chungi Ichon Stream. So there was like, we went to the plaza where they do, it was crazy because there was a bunch of political protests going on because, okay, I'm fully here. Jesus, 6 months, sir. That is rude and uncalled for. Thank you, sir, for your generosity. Jesus doing the Jesus thing again. Welcome back, trees. But yeah, we did the Cheonggyecheon stream, the Gwanghwamun Square, and the Gwangbokgung Palace. So it's like in the center of Seoul, there's like the traditional palace, and we got to watch the changing of the guard ceremony, which was very long-winded, but it was very fun. Just think like military drills, but they were wearing like traditional outfits and using traditional weapons and stuff like that. That's what they had there. So we got to explore the grounds of the palace, which was very fun. Then we went to, well, we got to check out the stream. So the stream, like a reenactment. It was very long-winded, but it was fun. The stream was cool because it showed our tour director, Ben. Love how you said it was long-winded, but it was fun. Yeah, it was very long, especially because of how hot it was. Like, my God, it was like a 30-minute changing of the guard. And we're just sitting there just sweating. So it was good. Now, the thing about the plaza, though, is that so Friday the 17th it's a South Korean holiday. I forgot the exact name of it. But it's like, I forgot the name of it. Holy crap. Hold on. It's called Constitution Day. The proclamation of the country's first constitution in 1948. So it was their first constitution. So it's Constitution Day. So what that means, though, is that people they'll do political rallies. So there's all sorts of political rallies happening. Yeah. Dramatic. This music's been great for this. So they did, so there was like tons of banners and protests and all sorts of stuff going on. I mean, like, it's all friendly. It's not like they're people looking for change kind of deal. So we walked through all that, and like Ben, our tour guide, he's like 26, and he's like apologizing. He's like, "I'm so sorry that you have to see all this," and we're like, "No, it's cool. It's fine. Is what it is." But the stream, he showed us on the bus on the way there, but he showed us like the stream, like he tried to give us a heads up of what we were doing before we did it, and he would send out like a PDF of like history on certain areas that we could read at our own time, which was very cool that he did that, because he's like, I'm not going to give you guys an explanation while we're walking around because that's too much. He's like, especially with how hot it is. But the stream was very cool because he showed us a picture of it like 30 years prior, and it was just like this super busy, like industrial, or not industrial, but like business, like corporate area. Apologize. I probably would have joined the protest. I mean, there you go. It was cool. It was fun when we were at the changing of the guard ceremony. You could hear people shouting, like chanting, as part of protests that were going on. So we had, so essentially what happened is as part of like a revitalization project, South Korea was like, the South Korean government said, hey, this area, we're going to make it more natural. So they essentially removed a lot of the corporate areas and just made it like a park in the middle of the city. Just a small stream. You see people were playing in the water. It was just like a very quiet place with lots of trees. So we had done that. Once we left the palace, we went to the Hyundai Museum, the Hyundai Motor Studios. So was it hot? It was very hot, yeah. But yeah, so the Hyundai Motor Studios, there was this like, Hyundai in Korea has this like event thing going on where there's a children's cartoon, and it's like fuzzy, like these little cute animal people, like kind of like Paw Patrol, and they all like wearing like cute little outfits and stuff like that. But they had like little mascots everywhere, and they had like theme cars set up with them on there, and yeah, it's like Paw Patrol, but it's like a Korean show. But I had asked our tour guide. I was like, what is all this? And he's like, oh, this is like the cutesy cartoony thing. He's like, it's part of a show that has like hundreds of these little fuzzy characters, like these little animal characters. I'm like, oh, that's weird. But we went, we got to take like an interactive tour with a tour guide there. It was very hands-on in the sense like you'd walk over and it's like, hey, someone come press this button. You press a button and it shows like something gets welded on to an actual car. It was very cool in that sense. But just like walking around, and then we got to see like Hyundai's like new like their mock-up models that they're coming out with. It's very interesting stuff. So once we left there, we went to, there's like a Korean master chef that's been on a lot of like Korean programs, taught us how to make kimbap and how to make japchae, which is like veggie and noodles. Taught us how to make those two dishes. I couldn't eat the kimbap because there was shellfish in it, and they're like, just take out the crab. But meanwhile, like the crab was like wrapped tightly in like a bundle with the other ingredients, so it was like you can't really do that. So I participated in the cooking. So it was fun. Like we learned how to make kimbap, which I want to try again, just with not the death flavors. Perfect. Yeah, japchae. Japchae is like, it's like noodles and vegetables. Jesus, very tasty stuff. Just play roulette with your life and pick it out. No, that works. But yeah. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, but I mean, so like if you hear, just take out the crab and it will be a mild reaction. We have EpiPen. It'll be fine. Trust me, bro. Yeah, trust me, bro. Man's out here recalling all of his life stories in a singular 2-week span. Utterly ridiculous. What you mean? The amount of stuff that they packed into this trip was just crazy. Oh, yes. Okay. So we'd done the cooking class, and then we went back to the hotel. Like, how much happened in that 2-week time frame? Like, so much happened, dude. Now, he took us to a hotel after that, and we stayed at the Golden Soul Hotel. And the Golden Soul Hotel was the nicest hotel we had stayed at. Like, it is like a 5-star hotel. It was insanely nice. By far my favorite one, and we think that was by design. They wanted to put us in a nice hotel, bad hotel, and then a amazing hotel at the end of the trip. Because by that point, we were just like, we were excited to be there, but I told Ben, I was like, I'm sorry if we don't seem enthusiastic. We were like, we're super burned out. We're so burned out. So you're just like a zombie going to these events. So the last day of the trip, Saturday. Okay, since you're now a master of the area, when are we taking guild trip with Drop being the guide? I mean, sure, whenever. I don't want to tell you how much it costs, though, Trees. You might not like the cost. The cost of the trip was, I paid it over 3 years, to put it in perspective. Like, I've been paying for this trip for 3 years, like monthly payment kind of deal. So the final. We're gonna put this. We're gonna put on some more somber music. Yeah. Yeah. So the last day of the trip, we got up at like 5 a.m. It was like 5 a.m. We had to get up early because tickets apparently sell out very fast. So we got up at 5 and we went to the demilitarized zone. So the DMZ. And we were literally the first ones there. Thankfully, it was only 24 of us because we said goodbye to the middle schooler group in Osaka. Like, we went to the airport to go to the Incheon, like fly into the Incheon airport in South Korea, and they took a train. They took a train back to Tokyo, and then flew back to the States like that. Like their trip ended there. Holy crap. My throat hurts like a motherfucker now. Sorry for the language. So if Jesus stops his gift subbing for like a decade, he can afford to take the guilt. Yeah, afford to take everyone for like a decade. If he saved his money for a decade, he could probably take like 10 people. Yeah, we went to the DMZ. So we got there. We were the first ones there, so we were able to get a tour guide, like a guided tour, which is amazing that we were able to do that. Essentially, it's like a ticket to get into the DMZ. So our guide was friends with. So the guide for the DMZ was friends with the guy that was our guide. That makes sense. So it worked out. You're welcome for this. I said thank you. Yeah. It's very wild because, you know, we do like a bit of walking. It was raining too, so that was another thing. It was raining while we were there, and it was very foggy. So they show us. It's like, think of it. So the demilitarized zone, right? It's a military zone. So there's like barbed wire fences and guard posts and soldiers everywhere. But then at the same time, it's also a tourist attraction. So there's like a Ferris wheel outside of the main building, of like the entrance building. And then you get on a bus and they take you in, and you're not allowed to film. You're not allowed to film in a lot of areas. So I didn't film in a lot of areas. We went to, you know, we drove in and we drove past the now closed, it's been closed for many years at this point, since North Korea was doing its missile testing. It's been closed since then, but there was like the immigration office between North and South Korea. And then we went to, so if you don't know, there was attempts like in the 70s and the 90s, North Korea was trying to trying to tunnel its way into South Korea to attack. And so, but there's 5 of these tunnels. Tunnel 3 is the only one that you can visit as a tourist. And so we went to Tunnel 3, and we had to put our phones in lockers kind of deal. My sister and my niece didn't do it, but I did it, and I regret it because it is it's like a 45-degree angle down, and it's 500 feet of that, or no, 500 meters of that. So you go 500 meters down. It's like in a tunnel, like a concrete made tunnel, and then from there you cut a hard left, and then it goes. It's about 5 foot of a ceiling. And so you're walking down this like another like 150 meters down this tunnel, and it leads to, and our tour guide was at the end of it, and it basically leads to like this stone slab with a window in it, where the tunnel partially collapsed on the other side. So they have this window in this like foot thick concrete slab, and on the other side you see another foot thick concrete slab. But then it's also the outside. So there's like the outside area. It is very beautiful because like the DMZ, aside from a small village that's there, that South Koreans begged the UN to take back, aside from a small village there, nature has been allowed to just exist. Like the amount of animals and plants that exist in the DMZ, it's quite beautiful. It's very green. It's very lush. It's very pretty. But you can see on the other side, and it's just like, oh, if you know, our tour guide was at the end. He was waiting for us, and he's like pointed out there, and he's like, if you look out the window, you'll see the other side of the tunnel. And he's like, and like 200 meters beyond that is North Korea. Like that's how close they got. Like they got insanely close. I know, just made it. Oh, sassing. Ugh. Jesus is always spreading the love. Now that was cool. Now going back up. Now going up a 45-degree angle, 500 meters, like going up, uphill, like not downhill, but uphill, like 45-degree angle for 500 meters. It was hell. It was absolute hell. And there's benches. They have benches along the tunnel because people need to stop and sit. But I bet you were ready to go to bed after that. I was dead on my feet when I got to the top. Like, I'd been underground and I was soaked. And it was cold, too. Like, tunnels are cold. Like, the underground tunnel was very cold. So I'm, like, shivering and, like, soaking wet by the time I got back. And then they had us watch a video. So, essentially, the reason why there's so much tourism at the DMZ is because they want to spread awareness because South Koreans really want to reunite with North Korea. Like they want to be, they want to be allies again. They said like they live in an incomplete country, if that makes sense. So they really want to like open up relations to North Korea and become family again, essentially. That's the hope anyway. It was a little weird in the sense that there's like a massive tourist attraction, but at the same time, like they had soldiers get on our bus and check our passports and do head counts because they were looking for people that were trying to sneak into South Korea. So we did that, and then we left. Or we went to this like observatory where they're like, you can see North Korea from here. And there's basically like I mentioned, there's a small village on the South Korean side. On the North Korean side, because there was a village on the South Korean side, they built a village over there. They built a big village. It's massive. Nobody lives there though. Windows are painted on buildings. They're not actually windows. The only reason why they did that is because South Koreans were they were flying a flag, the South Korean flag, and North Korea didn't want to be outdone, so they put up a flag to be higher. And then over the years, over decades, they were like doing a race to see who could make it higher. Hi, Crayon. Thank you so much for the 8 months. Did you miss it? Did you miss what? What did you miss? What have you missed? I hope you didn't miss anything. But hi, hello. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well and recovered from your trip. All of it. Well, I'm talking about my last day of the trip. I've shown no photos or videos. I've only been talking. Now, I mean, some people came in later, but the reason why I'm not showing any photos or videos right now is because it's all screwed up. It's all screwed up. I mean, let me finish talking, and then I'll just show random videos and photos. Maybe he has, but forgot to change the scene. That would be really funny if I had done that, trees. So what I'm gonna do, Crayon, because in like half my photos didn't transition onto my computer, I'm gonna put them all in order because they're all out of order. Put them in order, and I would post them on the Discord. Yeah. That would be something I've done before. Not share my screen properly. Now from there we went to Myeongyong, I think is how you say it. I'm probably misremembering that, but it's like a shopping area. It's like alleyways of different like food stalls and like we got off the bus and there was like a food stall that was selling grilled lobster tail just right there. So I got to have my Korean hot dog while I was my Korean corn dog while I was down there, and I got to go to a K-pop called Mecha K, K-pop center, and it was fantastic. I got to buy another suitcase because I had so many souvenirs to bring back. I had to buy another suitcase. I was able to buy toys for my niece and nephew, stuff like that. And so this area where there's like a all the girls on the trip kept talking about this place called Olive Young. Now, South Korea is kind of known for their skincare, like their beauty products and their skincare and stuff like that. So Olive Young is basically like a beauty store. They sell everything there: makeup, skincare, you name it. When it comes to like the beauty market, it's there. And yeah, so Olive Young. So there are, in this area that we went to, there are 3 Olive Youngs. Just because of how in high demand they are. There's 3 of them there. And there is about as many Olive Youngs as there are convenience stores. Drop on some new shampoo for his baldness. No, I shave my head on purpose. I don't like having hair. I don't want more hair. I just don't like having hair. So I went to the 3-story one with my niece. It was quite intimidating being in there. Drink it in. I'm gonna fix my camera before tomorrow's stream. I'm gonna fix how it's set up. Obviously you can see the cats, but I'm like tucked over on the side, like it's all weird. It's because I haven't streamed in like a month, so it's all over the place. Yeah, we did that, and then it was just a matter of, like, once we did that, shopped around a bit, we went back to the hotel, and then that was it. We did a couple things. What do you mean the cats are the real streamers? That's true. That's really funny. That's really funny, Jesus. Let me see. Alright, let me see. Oh, here you go. Now these are just going to be so that after that, I mean, the next day we went back to the States. So that was pretty much the whole trip in a nutshell. Here you go, Hexa, because you were interested in it. Is that right or is that right? I don't remember. YOLO? Oh my god. Hi. Hello. No, this is perfect. So this is the dog statue in Shibuya that we saw. So I did get a photo of it. I'm missing so many things, so many photos. So there's that. Hang on, I'm gonna show just to prove that I was there. Oh, so when we went to the train station for dinner at that place that served shrimp and pork, I was able to get, what a face cam. I know, I'm like secretive. So this was the food that I had purchased. So this was in Hiroshima. This was the Hiroshima place before we took the train back. It was so unbelievable. And so I had bought two different things. It was so tasty. What else I got here? Oh, here's a photo of the ramen. This was my ramen dish. This was by far the best. This is like a small hole in the wall place. It's like the best freaking ramen I've ever had in my life. It was so good. What else do I got in here? Oh, here's an example of one of the shrines. So this was outside of Osaka Castle. This is like a small shrine area. Now when you pass through these, you have to bow. You have to bow when you go in there. God, they have Cokes in the bottles. Yeah, they do. Yeah, my sister got that Coke. That was hers. That was when we got to Osaka. Oh, here you go. Here's a picture of Osaka Castle. Just looking at that photo made me break out in a sweat, right? So it was crazy. So you can see the dust starting to come up here. There was a massive gust of wind while we were walking, and it just swirled up so much dust that you couldn't see for like a couple seconds, and then it dissipated. It was quite wild. It is massive. It's like 7 stories. No, and for those that get the reference, this is Don Quixote. Holes in the wall places are always the best. Yeah, they are. So this is Don Quixote, which is it's like an 8-story shopping insanity. So the amount of stuff you see stuffed on the walls, that's every floor. Every single floor, there's that much. There's so much stuff there. One-stop shopping is true. There is seriously so many things there. Literally everything. It's like they had a floor. Oh, this is a good picture. So this is just a random alleyway, like random shopping alleyway in Osaka. Yeah, open 24 hours as well. So this is just a random street, or not street, but like shopping area in Osaka. Second empty suitcase for I bought a second suitcase. In Korea, I bought it. But see, the problem, so the thing is to go to Japan, the weight limit's 50 pounds, right? It's 50 pounds. There's not really a restriction on the size of the case. When you go to Korea from Japan, the weight limit is 40 pounds, and it has to be like under 23 inches, the size of your suitcase. So I had that suitcase, but I would hate to do inventory there. Yeah, right? Yeah, and that's just it, Trees. Like, there was people, like staff members, doing inventory like the whole time. Like, they were constantly walking around looking at things, restocking things. It was nuts. Oh, the food that I had in Osaka. This was what we had. Right before we went to the hotel. This is a Wagyu burger. It was a place that was like, there was like food places everywhere, but it was like on a corner that wasn't super busy. And this place is like a award-winning Wagyu place. And so they had the burger, and I was like, and me and pretty much everyone at the table got the burger. The burger was so freaking good. I devoured that thing. Yeah, don't worry. It's just going to be more pictures of food. This photo's from karaoke. Here you go. Here's a video from my hotel in Osaka. Just random video of the ocean while driving in Japan. And what's cool is like all the cars are like compact as well. Would you go back? Yes, in a heartbeat. Like I want to go back. Like I'm already planning my next trip. Like I want to go in March. You know what? I haven't had real meat in like 15 years. IBS issues, but I'd risk it all for Wagyu burger. It was. I would say it was probably worth it. It was very tasty. It was like an award-winning place as well. More videos of the. I would go back to each one separately. Because 4 days isn't a lot of time in. There's not a lot of time in Korea. It really wasn't. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just looking for random photos and such I can share with you guys. Oh, here's a good one. This is a good one. I hate not knowing which kitty which. This is Iris. You can tell she's like she's more petite, slender. She's got a smaller face. That's usually always the one laying around. Yeah, that's him. He's over there. And I think the only reason why he's in here right now is because the door's shut. So he can't usually leave. But yeah. But here you go. So I mentioned before we went to the North Seoul Tower and there was a bunch of padlocks everywhere, with little writings and things on them. That's this. So this was like the start of it. And there's like little padlocks. See, Dave said usually boy kitty lay around. Yeah. Like he's passed out over there. Oh, and there would be like moments. There was like this one area that was just like trees of padlocks. Shiny love, I think is what they called it. I feel bad because like all this stuff is out of order. Oh, here you go. Unfortunately, I've got to run, but hope to catch up soon. Absolutely. Have fun all and welcome back. Thanks, Dragon, and have a good day. So this was from the observatory. So this is Seoul. At least one side of it. Now there's this city. Take this city and like copy paste it all around the the tower. Yeah, drop. Happy to see your face. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Happy to see you too. It's... Oh, here it is. So this was really funny. So my tour guide said, go check out the bathrooms. The bathrooms are the best on the North Seoul Tower. And here's what he means by that. So, and apparently in the ladies' room, it was the same thing, except the toilets like sat not facing each other. I mean, obviously there's walls and stuff like that, but they sat side by side with the window. So like side by side with the window. So you're sitting on the toilet, you're just looking out over. What a place to use the bathroom, right? Yeah. I don't know, Hexa. It's been like that for a long time. So, but seriously, like South Koreans especially, well, I mean, I don't know how North Koreans feel, but South Koreans are very, very into the idea of reconciling with the North. At least as like the general opinion of people. Let me see. What else do I got? Oh, this was very cool too. I was shocked to see something like this. So essentially, one thing that also pooping with a view, absolutely. So one thing that South Korea does that's very fun is they do, so these are sprinklers in the middle of the road in the city. And what they do is they take reclaimed rainwater and they use it to cool down the road so it cools down the overall temperature of the city. And those are everywhere. Because it was noticeably cooler in those areas. I don't want to show that. That's too many. There's people. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Oh, neat. Oh, neat. Yep. Oh, neat. So here's my hotel in South Korea. Maybe. Now most of the hotels have been like hole in the wall places, but this was like this was big time. It was very nice. It's me, very sweaty me. But one thing about the tubs is like they're super deep tubs, so you really have to step in them. Also, fancy toilet. I think I was saying, like, I'm so excited. Something like that. That's probably what I was saying. Oh, this was a rainbow bridge. So it lights up, like, camera that scene looking like. Yeah. Reminds me of the rooms I'd get when I could stay at the Turing Stone Casino here in New York. Nice. That's fun. Also, yes, I know that my camera's cutting my face off. Listen, I'm new to streaming. Don't worry. At this point, my throat is tired. Or my throat hurts. My head hurts. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, a lot of the videos that I took really fast, with the intent of like slowing them down. I'm trying to find something that's like decent. Good. I'm glad to make you laugh then. So when I said that there was like cutesy at the Hyundai Motor Studio, there's like cutesy things. Yeah, I'm Turing. I think of Turing, like Turing test. Yeah, seriously, I'm tired. Like I've been up since 5 a.m. I'm ready for a nap. But this is what I mean when they had like the cutesy stuff at the Hyundai place. That's what I mean, like all the cutesy things. It has a nice pool and hot tub and huge food court. I want food. Oh, I'm hungry. I like food. Food's good. I have a feeling I'm probably not gonna stream. Like I had put down a game to play just to like have a game to play in case I got like more done. But I feel like after I'm done showcasing everything, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna stop streaming. Yeah, I've been up since 5. Oh God's Kill It, too cute. Yeah. So this was cool. So this, so an artist had taken tail lights from Hyundai vehicles and basically made it into a living art piece. Now, see, that's the Hexa. That's I can't take a nap. That's the problem. That's the issue that I'm facing. Well, it's sort of the issue I'm faced with because like my sleep schedule is so screwed up. If I nap, it's gonna screw it up further. But I have been napping like every day. I don't know. It could be the Iosaurus. That's crazy looking meatball. Yeah. The mound will keep you awake. The mound will absolutely keep me awake. It's fun, for sure. Oh, this was super cool. This was one of our lunches that we did. Just Helldivers? Nah. Maybe later. Napalm? Yeah, napalm. Baldur's Gate 3 will always keep you awake. See, I'm gonna disagree with you on that. Every time I played Baldur's Gate 3 with like the party, and we do that thing where we sit around for a long time, like managing inventory and stuff, I'm always like this, like falling asleep. So this was, this here was like chicken. It was, so they do a lot of like, big thing to do in Korea is to have like communal meals. Like they're very big about community when it comes to meals. So this was one of the places we went to, and that's like chicken, and they do what's called tteokbokki, which is it's rice that's been mashed together into almost like a pasta. And so that's what this was. And there's also cheese. Like that's cheese that they just walked over and threw on. And you just mix it all together and you eat it, and it's so freaking tasty. Now this over here is like gochujang. Tteokbokki is the bomb. It really is. This is a gochujang sauce, which is kind of like a spicier sauce. It's kind of in the same vein as like, well, I'll speedrun it if I can. I just don't want to make other people feel rushed or like I'm making all the decisions. Yeah, this mess looks extravagant. It was very tasty. And then there's like lettuce to make sam. Like if like assam is essentially you take food, you put it in the lettuce leaf, and you like rip it down if you want to, but then you're supposed to take it like all in one. Like you just shove, like you just straight up chubby bunny it. Yeah, it's making me I ate breakfast and it's making me hungry. I'm kind of feel the same way, Crayon. Like I don't want to rush people in it, but at the same time, like I remember there were moments of playing Baldur's Gate 3 with Jesus and Nerf, where it felt like we just stood there forever, and I'd always get yelled at to like hurry up and get somewhere, because I was like falling asleep, like actively falling asleep. Our one charisma-based person is fine if I make the decisions. Yeah, it's true. Never heard describing Psalm as Chubby Bunny. It basically is, though, Pew. It basically is. Oh, this one's cool. This is so most of these photos are going to be from Korea, because for some reason my Japanese photos didn't load over and I can't find them on my phone. I mean, they're on my phone, like I can see them on my phone, but when it comes to like in the file, I can't find them for some reason. This guy's really cool. He's the guy who invented the Korean characters, like the writing. So he's got a gold statue just chilling in the center of Seoul. This big gold statue just chilling. You know, why not? Yeah, Hangul guy, yeah. I'm gonna find a better video of that. Yeah, so this is part of the changing of the guard ceremony. As you can see, they're wearing very traditional outfits. But this is like this long-winded ceremony that they do. Because the outgoing guard has to do like one last patrol, and then the incoming guard has to do an inspection and like an incoming patrol kind of deal. So this one. After learning Japanese, I tried going to Korean. Hangul was a nope. Brain couldn't memorize those characters. Yeah, I remember this one. It's just like the up and down, like a lowercase L is E. That's what I remember. Yeah, I remember. Holy hoopla! Yeah, I'm trying to remember the things that I do. Jushung Hamnida is I'm sorry. It's basically the same thing as saying like Sumimasen. It's just like I'm sorry, like as you're bumping into people. You know, it's like Jushung Hamnida. There is Annyeonghaseyo, or Annyeonghaseyo as people say, is hello. There is Kamsahamnida, which is thank you. And it's so funny because I tried to teach one of the moms that was on the trip like how to say thank you. She's like, how do you say thank you? It's like Kamsahamnida, and she did like a double take at me, and it always made people laugh, like the Koreans that were around as I'm trying to teach like how to say it. And then there's like machi soyo, which is basically like delicious, like so delicious kind of deal. So but then it's so weird though, because like in Korean there's like, when you're trying to learn it, you want to learn the word for party in Korean, it's party, at least according to the language app. Or t-shirt is shirtsu, or sunglasses is sunglassu. Like it's very weird. But then at the same time, they have like a like jonin hangbukeo, like it means I'm happy, right? It's the same in Japanese, yeah. There's a lot of loan. Yeah, there really is. But it's funny though because you'll say like, I'm trying to remember the word for. Well, there's like 4 different words for fish, like just the word fish. There's like raw fish, alive fish, dead fish, cooked fish, or something like that. Like in Japanese, it's wild. I forgot what this is. Like, I don't remember what this. I think this is the palace in Seoul. I think it's the palace. It was just very pretty. It was just very pretty photo that I took. It's just random people there in traditional outfits. But I think it's the palace. This is like one of my favorite photos from the trip. That's our photo of our Korean master chef teaching us how to make kimbap. Probably someone did do woodblock prints of that place like 100 years ago. Yeah, probably. Here's basically right outside my hotel, but while it's raining at like night. It's another pretty thing. It's like raining over Seoul. Now, if you look at this, you look at this video and you think to yourself, oh, this is very America coded. It looks like an American city in that sense. And it felt more like at home there. That makes sense. It just worked. Here's one of the few photos that I have from the demilitarized zone. You can see there's a destroyed bridge here, and they just rebuilt the bridge. They didn't rebuild this exact one. They just built a new one next to it. But yeah, it's, as you can see, like all the forest. It's very lush kind of area. Oh yeah, this one made me chuckle. This one here, it absolutely made me chuckle. Not only does it have the Nerf level of like me falling off a cliff, like picture, but it also says beware of drop. It's perfect. I forgot who, someone else told me the same thing. Like, very good banner photo. Where's Jesus to appreciate this one? They were just pre-warning people you would shove them off a cliff, yeah. Mr. Falls Off Cliff guy is me. Oh, it's not as funny when my face appears. So probably what I'm gonna do today, a little bit later, I might have a nap and some food, and honestly, I might call it soon. I'm tired. But yeah, what I plan on doing today, a little bit later today, is I'm probably gonna like go through and get my photos organized and post them in the Discord. So I'll do that, just so you guys can actually see what's going on with that. But yeah, but sorry, I plan on doing like tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm starting earlier, so heads up. Hey, tomorrow I'm starting earlier because I have to end earlier because I have to go. I was asked to do babysitting things, so I'm gonna be starting tomorrow. At Wilson confirmed. That's fantastic, Jesus. So tomorrow, I'm gonna start at. I'm starting 2 hours earlier. I'm gonna start 2 hours earlier, so I'll be starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Actually, let me edit this again. Yeah, I sort of wanted to do like cozy games this week because oh, thank you for the lurk, zombie. I appreciate that. Trying to think. Oh, that was cool. One of the last nights we did, we went to Good One. It's called Good One. I think it was the last place that we ate at, but it's so there you go. There you go, Pew. There's your tteokbokki. You got the rice, got the fish cakes in there, and the tteokbokki sauce, and then we had Korean fried chicken, and this is pickled radish, which is freaking amazing. I love pickled radish so much. I didn't know I would. That's the good stuff. It was so tasty. And then we had this like super crispy chicken. Oh god. And they just brought it like it was crazy because we sat down and they just started bringing out food. Like just started bringing food. It was like chicken wings and tteokbokki and pickled radish. And that was like, and you can have as much beer as you want, and then Ben showed everybody how to make a somek, which is soju and beer mixed. They had done that, so which is very cool. And we had a whole bunch of people get hung over. Like a bunch of the adults got hung over the next day because they drank a bunch of soju. And I guess they didn't, obviously people don't understand how much alcohol is in soju. And to put in perspective, soju is a spirit that has, it's clear, it's a clear liquid, but it's usually flavored. So you can get like different flavors of it. But the original one's like super smooth. It's danger juice, 100%. It's danger juice. Like, I don't drink anymore, but I was very jealous. I wanted to drink some over there. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And it wouldn't be a trip to Korea. So the morning that we left, so we left at like 1 p.m., right? So we had time beforehand. So we got up at like 7 in the morning so we could take a taxi over to the JYP building. Now, if you don't know what JYP is, there's my stupid face. My dumb face right there. So JYP is one of the producers for it's one of the companies that does K-pop. It's one of the K-pop companies, and JYP is responsible for like Stray Kids and various other bands, but Stray Kids being the most prominent from that organization. And so my niece wanted to take a photo in front of the JYP building as like a bucket list item, so we did that. It was great. It's fantastic. So we literally rode a taxi, and this taxi driver was breaking the sound barrier when he was driving. He drove so fast. It was insane how fast he was driving. He had like 10 different monitors in his car. It was wild. It was a good time though. And I'll leave you guys with this one. It's like my last photo. I got home from the airport. It was like 3 a.m. And I had to use the bathroom. And so, naturally, cats being cats, they followed me into the bathroom. Because they had missed me. But anyway. That's all for now. I'm hoping that I get better acclimated to our times. I mean, I've been back for a week. Like I shouldn't be struggling this hard. But I'm hoping I could take a nap and then stay up later tonight and then go to bed at a more reasonable time as opposed to like 9 p.m. I'm hoping I could do that and then actually like sleep. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Pew. It has been a good stream. A nice little quiet stream to start off. Yeah. Ooh. I think today I'm just gonna end. I was considering rating, but I'm just like, I just want to. It's gonna end today. I think that's what I'm gonna do today. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Thank you for all the love, especially you, Mr. Jesus. You just need to play some games on schedule to stay awake. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'll do. But I did a bunch of talking today, so I think now is a good place to end. It's only like 2 hours in, but it was supposed to be just a just chatting stream anyway. I'm fine with that. I had less to show and tell. No, thank you for being you and being back. Oh, thanks, Jesus. I appreciate that, dude. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go get some food, and then go take a nap, I think. So yeah. But on that note, thank you everybody so much for hanging out. I'll see you later. How's a good night? Bye, catos. Bye, kitty cats. Say bye. Say bye, Iris. Say bye-bye. Say bye. She's going to take a bath instead. Alright, goodbye, everyone. I'll see you later. Okay, bye. And I'll fix my camera, too. Don't worry.